Hello and welcome to the Prelims PYQ discussion by new IAS. This is a question about terminologies from modern India. We have three terminologies in this question. So usually terminologies usually come from ancient and medieval India, but in modern India also UPSC has asked it once. So we just have one question. If you take the period from 1757 to 1947 for that matter, we just have one question on these lines. So the frequency of questions on this line was low. Now coming to the terms, we have three terms here: Aurang, Banian and Mirasidar. It's presented as a match the following. So Aurang is given as in charge of treasury of the state. Banian, Indian agent of East India Company. Mirasidar, designated revenue payer of the state. Now to logically approach this, you have very minimal possibility. If you take the second option, for example, Banian, it comes from the modern term Baniya, the Baniya caste. So look at the explanation here: Indian agent of East India Company. So agent means someone who is related to trade, because East India Company was primarily related to trade. So using that vague connection, you can take this option to be correct. But still, I am reiterating that the connection is vague. So in fact, the term Baniya comes from the Sanskrit word Vaniya. Vaniya means trader. And this is derived from the Sanskrit word Vanij. Vanij means trade, Vaniya means trader, and this term Baniya, the modern day Baniya, comes from this for two terms. And Banian is the term that was used for Indian agents of the British East India Company. So this statement is correct here. If you know that, you can take this to be correct and eliminate this particular option. But still, every other option will remain. Now, they don't just act as traders, they were bookkeepers and helpers of the British East India Company in many ways. So just keep this fact in mind. They were not just traders, they helped the British East India Company in many ways. That's why the term agent is used here. So next time this question comes, keep that in mind. Now look at this term, Mirasidar. It means designated revenue payer to the state. One way to remember this or to connect this is with terms like Samindar. Samindar is also a revenue payer to the state because Samindar is a hereditary landowner. And when British came up with settlements like the permanent settlement, these were the people who used to pay revenue to the British. Go a little further back and look at the term Jagirdar. You have Jagirs, which are revenue assignments given to people called Jagirdars, and they were revenue payers to the state. Go further back, you have terms like Iqtadar. This is a term during the British Delhi Sultanate. This term is during the Mughals. This term is during the British time. But Samindar is a term that transcends through ages. Now they all were designated revenue land payers. Now the term Mirasidar is along the same line. You can connect it along these three terms. They were also designated revenue payers to the state, but this term comes from Urdu. And this can be seen in regions in north of Delhi where this term was commonly used. It comes from Urdu. Urdu was a language that was popular there. So this statement is correct. The second statement is also correct, Baniya and Mirasidar. This statement is wrong. What is given in the question is in charge of treasury of the state. But the correct answer is a Persian term. Aurang is a Persian term that we can infer, but it referred to the warehouse where goods are collected before being sold. So to know this option, it is very difficult. But if you know these two options, which are used in textbooks and which can be easily inferred also with basic conceptual knowledge, you can eliminate this. No, you can just take 2 and 3 to be correct. So you can eliminate these two options. But one again, it has to be known. So this becomes a 50-50 option with logic, with facts. You can reach the answer, which is 1, 2 and 3. So that's it. Thank you for listening.